Good morning, students. I welcome you all to the online teaching session of Academic World School, Bemedra. And today we are going to learn gerund and participles. Many times students get confused between what exactly gerund is and what exactly the present participle is, because in both of them we find ing form of the verb. And also they get confused with the V plus ing form, because they take it is simply a verb only, but it is not a verb form at all. That we will learn. Today we will learn first of all gerund, then we will learn participles, types of participles, and then finally comparatively we will see that what is the difference between gerund and participle, right? So be ready, just take out your notebook to make important points, right? So let's begin. So what exactly the gerund is? It is written, definition says, a gerund is a verb form. Just look here. It is a verb form that functions as a noun. It is functioning not as a verb. It is verb form, but it functions as a noun. Noun, gerund gerunds end in ing. It means we have to take ing form of the verb, that is only gerund. You will see with the example, but they function as a noun, not as a verb, right? For example, let me tell you here, when we write, for example, write in the basic word, right? Now when we add ing to the right, what we make? Writing. It becomes writing. So writing. But tell me what exactly the writing is. Writing is verb here, or writing is a gerund. Here we cannot say because it is not given in the context. But we definitely, one thing we know, it is a verb form, sir. Now from these two examples you will come to know whether it is really verb or whether it is functioning in a sentence as a noun. For example, I like running. I like running. A sentence should have subject, verb and object. Like here, I is the subject of the sentence, right? Subject, like is the verb of the sentence, and that too main verb. Like is not helping verb at all. So if like is the main verb of the sentence, so what running is? Running is object of the sentence, right here. Also it is functioning as noun. It is functioning as noun. Now what noun means exactly? Noun means name, right? Just like I am having a name, you are having a name, book, countries, it may be any of your friend, sister, brother, everyone has got one particular name. So we identify them after their names. But can an action word, just like here running, and here I have written writing, can it be a noun? Definitely, when we are talking about particular action, that action is not at that moment being performed. Action is not being performed. We are not talking about here, for example, in this, we are not talking about that he is running. No, we are not talking about like he is running, but he likes running. We are talking about that particular action as a noun here. So I like running. Now let's see similar example. I am running now. Is the action going on at this moment? Yes. Here I is the subject of the sentence. Here am is the helping verb and running is the main verb. Helping verb plus main verb, and therefore verb plus ing form. Here verb plus ing, it is functioning as a verb here, and therefore it is not gerund at all. If any verb plus ing form functions as a verb only, verb plus ing functions as a verb, it is not gerund at all. But when verb plus here, verb is run, we have an ing, and that is functioning as a noun here, and therefore it is called gerund. Right? What the basic thing I told you about gerund, that verb plus ing form it functions as a noun, and not as a verb. If it is functioning as a verb, then it is not a gerund, right? If it is functioning as a verb. Now let's see some more examples or how to use gerund here, right? So when we say noun, means noun generally you find being used either in the subject place or at the object place, right? Noun we find generally at the beginning or at the end of the sentence, because I said that gerund cannot be a verb. If I write example for the gerund, smoking causes lung cancer. Smoking causes lung cancer. Is the smoking gerund here? Definitely, because we are not talking about particular one person or nobody is acting here. We are talking about complete action here, smoking. Here you will find smoking is the subject of the sentence, right? Is it subject? Yes. We are talking about smoking, so it is the subject. And here we find smoke, to smoke as the verb also, right? Then plus ing is also used. At the same time, both the terms are functioning as a noun here, subject of the sentence, right? As I said, subject of the sentence, and therefore we find it is called gerund. Now, what is the verb of the sentence? Causes, C-A-U-S-E-S, verb of the sentence. Means smoking is not the verb of the sentence at all, whatever, right? I hope you understood this example. As a subject, now let's take one more example. Likely, reading gives me pleasure. Reading gives me pleasure. What gives me pleasure? Reading, definitely. We are talking about reading. Is it verb now here? Definitely not. It is subject. It is subject of the sentence, and therefore here we find read plus ing. Right? It is the basic verb. Read is the verb, and it has taken ing here, but not functioning as a verb of the sentence, and therefore it is functioning here as the noun, subject of the sentence. When it functions as a subject in sentence, that time we call it a gerund. Not, and here what is the verb? Gives is the verb. So definitely reading is not the verb, and verb never comes at the beginning in a such sentence. I hope you understood. So where we use here? In subject, as a subject. As a subject we have taken. Gerund has been used as a subject of sentence, right? Now let's come to the another use of gerund. Now another use of gerund says, if it can be subject of any sentence, can it be object? Definitely. If noun can be in the beginning, it can be at the end also. So we can say second use of gerund is there, as a object. As an object of sentence it can be. Now let's see through example how it can be the object also. For example, she loves cooking. She loves cooking. Now here we are talking about cooking. Are we talking about cooking? Not, we are telling about what exactly she loves. She is the subject of sentence. Subject of sentence. Right? What is the main verb of sentence here? Loves, right? It is the verb of sentence. Like she loves, and what is the object of sentence here? Cooking. Right? Cooking. Now if it is the verb, loves is the cooking, loves is the verb of sentence, cooking cannot be. It is object of the sentence. Object also, right? First thing, it is object of the sentence. Second thing, it is verb plus ing form also, likely cook plus ing. Yes, we have, and it is functioning as a noun. Yes, cooking. We are talking about the entire procedure of cooking, not particular one person is not doing that one. He is talking about that cooking, loves cooking, not a particular action, and therefore this is called gerund in sentence, right? So we saw gerund functions in the sentence as subject. It also functions as an object in the sentence. Now let's see one more example. For example, Sheetal, stop laughing. Sheetal, stop laughing. Now, what is the subject in the sentence? We are talking about Sheetal, so subject of the sentence, right? Then, what is the verb of the sentence? Stop as the verb of the sentence. And what is the object of the sentence now? Laughing. Is it gerund now? Yes, because it is functioning in sentence as noun. See here you will find also the verb. Laugh is the verb. Then we have added ing also. Also, it is functioning as a noun in the sentence. So the basic definition of gerund is that whenever verb plus ing form of the word functions as a noun in sentence, it is called gerund. If it is functioning as a verb in a sentence, it will definitely be not a gerund. Now let me write the same example in a different way. Like Sheetal is laughing. Sheetal is laughing. Now we are talking about what action she is performing. We are not talking about the action exactly as a whole, but we are talking what Sheetal is doing. So it is acting as the action word here, and therefore it is not gerund at all, right? Because Sheetal is the subject of the sentence. Sheetal is the subject of the sentence. Here is laughing is the verb, right? Is the verb of sentence, and therefore that is not gerund at all. So second use of gerund you understood. Gerund is also used as the object of sentence. Now let's see third use of gerund. Where exactly we use gerund again? As a subject complement. As a subject complement. Now complement means what? We are giving compliments to each other. When we are talking about each other, we give a certain kind of compliment. Now let's see that you will see. For example, whatever we talk about the subject or person is called compliment. What we talk about that? For example, here the aim of our institute is, what is the aim of our institute? Is teaching. If I complete here, the aim of our institute is teaching. Now I am not talking about that the action which is going on. Who has performed the action here? Is the subject performing the action here? The aim of our institute? No, we are talking about that, right? For example, if I write seeing is, what is seeing? Seeing is what? Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Now believing is not verb at all, it is the complement of the subject seeing. Whatever you see, that you believe, right? So the subject is not performing any action, but we are talking about what seeing is as the action word, right? What seeing is, what the aim of our institute is. So believing is the complement of the sentence. At the same time here, teaching is the complement. As a subject complement also it can be used, right? Now let's see one more use of gerund where we use exactly. We also use it as the object of preposition as a object of preposition. Now, whenever the preposition will come and some ing word, at that time we can say that that is not the verb at all. For example, if I say, I am not afraid of dying. I am not afraid of dying. Now, here we are talking again about the subject here. Afraid of is the phrase that has been used. Right? There is no action actually here. And dying, is it the verb of sentence? No, not at all. Here the am or not, here it is functioning as the main verb of the sentence. Linking word also we can call here instead. So after of we have used ing to the verb. Die is the verb plus ing we have taken. So again it is functioning here as a gerund, as a noun also. Right? Let's take one more example. For example, Rakesh is interested in leaving the job. Now, Rakesh is interested in. We have written the verb. Here, verb is the is, which is we call as the linking word here. There is no main verb here, right? Interested in. Now, in what? Living. Living is used here as the gerund, not as the verb form, right? So, here living is the gerund. Living is the gerund, means here it is the verb plus ing form of the word, and therefore we have used it as the gerund here, right? I hope you understood what exactly the gerund is. Gerund is also used as the subject. Gerund is also used as the object of the sentence. Gerund is also used as a subject complement. Also we use as the object of preposition. Many times it happens that after preposition we are using ing form of the word, and that becomes the gerund, right? Now let's see another. Now we have to see first of all what exactly the participle is. Then I will tell you comparatively that how to differentiate between gerund and participle. Now what exactly the participles are? Now participles are the adjective. Like if we talk about the gerund as the noun of the sentence, they also are called as gerund, also are called as the verbal noun, and here participles are also called as verbal. They are called as verbal adjectives. They are called as the verbal adjectives. Now we have two types of participles generally. Mainly there is third type also which I will introduce you. Okay. Now first of all, present participle. Then second one is, okay, let me write. I will tell you all three at one go. Then past participle, and third one is perfect participle. Right? So we have three type of participles. First one, present participle. Second one, past participle, and third one is perfect participle. Now present participles, if you remember the four forms of the verb, then you remember four forms of the verb. There we had first form as the present form, second form as the past form, second form, go is the first form, went is the past form, then gone is the third form, then fourth form, ing form we had brought. Like, let me write here, go is the first form, went is the second form, then gone is the third form, and going, it is called a present participle, right? That we are going to learn here. Present participle, gone, and then one more we can keep as the go only, right? So these are the main forms. Here, present participle means ing form we have to use here, present. So verb plus ing form we call as present participle. Past participle, third form of the verb, right? Third form of the verb we call past participle. So it is the verb third form. Verb third form is called past participle. And perfect participle, here we use generally having plus third form of the verb. Then it becomes perfect participle, right? So let's begin one by one. Here, present participle first of all. Now, present participle I said verb plus ing, and verb plus ing was gerund also. Sir, so how to differentiate between both of them? Very simple. That I said verbal noun it is verbal adjective. So it functions as adjective of sentence. Adjective of sentence. It is not verb at all, right? Now what is the difference between a noun and adjective? Noun, for example, this marker, if I said, then it is a marker. Marker is the noun, right? But if I say this black marker, black, I added one word before noun, so that became the adjective, right? So that is the adjective. It may be tall man. I am talking about man who is tall. It may be blue board. It may be handsome boy. Like a handsome, I can use that we call adjective. So these words verb plus ing. Now these words are going to work as adjective in a sentence. They will be used before the noun. Means here verb plus ing and then plus you will find a sort of noun here. So that will become present participle, right? So let's see through examples. First of all, we will begin with present participle first of all, right? Comparatively, I will tell you both the things, gerund also and present participle also. So first we are going to study present participle with example. With example, I said it will be acting as an adjective in the sentence verb plus ing form. For example, if I write here very popular example that barking dogs seldom bite. Barking dogs seldom bite. Now here bark is the verb, right? Because we know bark, it is the action word. So let me write here bark. Then plus it is taking ing also, and it is at subject's place. Sir, it is not at the verb's place. You will say probably, sir, it is at the subject place because the subject of the sentence is barking dogs. So how can it be verb? Definitely, it is not verb at all. What is it then? See, barking and dog is the noun, dogs. It is the noun of the sentence. Right? We are talking about. So what is barking adding? It is telling something more about dog. That the dogs are barking. Dogs are barking, and therefore it is functioning here as adjective. Right? Is it noun now? No, because nouns stand independently. We can talk about noun, but about all adjectives we cannot talk independently. Right? You cannot make any sentence beginning with handsome. Can you make? No. Right? Because that is adjective. The same way you will find over here that the dog is the noun and barking is adding something about noun, and therefore it has become present participle. So what we learn here from this sentence, when the verb plus ing will be used before a noun, in that case it becomes present participle, right? Let's take one more example here. For example, if I said today I got a breaking news. Today I got a breaking news. Here, can you identify what is the present participle here? Use, sir, breaking news. Why? Because news is the noun here. It is noun, and breaking, it is telling something more about the news. So it is adjective. Breaking is the adjective here. It can be anywhere. It can be in the subject. It can be at the object also. But definitely you will find always two words here. Traveling bag, right? Or it may be that one popular movie, that burning train. The train which is burning. So the word ing word, it is functioning as an adjective in the sense, and therefore that we call the present participle, right? Isn't it very easy? Now if I write here another example like he, for example, reading is my hobby. Reading is my hobby. We are here, reading is the ing word, verb plus ing word. I have used it as the subject place, but is it present participle? No, because it is independently functioning as a noun, sir. It is not adjective this time, and therefore reading is gerund. Here you find reading is gerund, and here you will find here ing word is used as adjective. Adjective, right? Here also adjective, and therefore these are the present participles, and here it is the gerund. This is the main difference, right? Now let's see short about past participle. Past participle. Now past participle, when I say past participle, means we are talking about third form of the verb, right? Past participle. Past participle, third form. Let's see through the example. This third form will function as an adjective here now. Let's take example. An injured soldier kept fighting. We are focusing on third form of the verb as well as the noun over here. So here injured soldier. Here soldier is the noun in sentence, right? So injured, it is the third form of the verb, right? Injured plus ed, it has taken this d only we have added, right? And it is functioning as an adjective in the sentence. Why adjective? Because noun is just in front of it, so it is functioning as an adjective in the sentence, and therefore that is the past participle. Got it? Why it is past participle it is called? Because third form is following to the noun over here, third form. Let's take one more example here. Another example I will add here. She likes burnt toast. Now here toast is the noun, right? Toast is the noun, and burnt, B-U-R-N-T, it is the third form of the verb as well as adjective also. As I said, gerund doesn't work in a sentence as a verb. In the same way, these participles also, adjectives also do not function as a verb. It is adjective means it will function as an adjective only, and there that will ing word will function as a noun only, right? So here you understood what is the past participle. Let's take one more example. You should wear iron clothes. Iron clothes. You should wear iron clothes. Now you can easily identify where exactly the past participle is used. Right here, iron clothes is the word, clothes is the noun. Here, iron is the adjective. Why adjective? Because it is telling something more about clothes, isn't it? And it is at the same time third form of the verb even. So past participles are third form of the verb used as an adjective in a sentence. Now let's see about the perfect participle. Perfect participle, that is the last participle, then we will have finished. Right? Perfect participle. Perfect participle is combination. Perfect participle is combination of continue means present participle, as well as third form of the verb means past participle. So here you will find the structure like having plus third form of the verb, having plus third form of the verb. Let's see through example here. Example, having received a letter, he started reading it. He started reading it. Here what you notice here, having received, two actions are involved there. Two actions, major actions. When the one action finished, then another action began, but that immediately. Finish also and began also, and therefore we will find here perfect also and continue both. So here, having received a letter, as soon as I received a letter, then he received letter, he started reading it. Right? So here two actions occurred and it is functioning as an adjective here. Right? Having received a letter, it is telling about letter, received letter. Let's take one more example here. Then having bought a bike, he drove it, he brought it, we can say simply, he brought it at home. Having bought a bike, he bought it at home. First action, first of all he bought and then he brought. Right? First of all he bought that bike and finally he brought it at home. Two actions are involved. Here we are talking about bike. Right? So perfect participle means having plus third form of the verb. Right? Generally such kind of structures are used in active voice when two actions are involved one after another. Right? So let's revise what we learn exactly today. Today we learn first about the gerund, which is verb plus ing form of the verb, functions as a noun in sentence. Then we saw its uses. It can be used as subject of the sentence. It can be used as an object of the sentence. It can be used as a subject complement. It also can be used as object of the preposition. Then we started about participles. Three types of participles. Present participles means verb plus ing, which functions as an adjective in the sentence. Then past participle, third form of the verb, which generally ends with ed, d, and t, sometime en or t sometime, likely functions in a sentence as an adjective, that too, third form of the verb. And finally we learn about perfect participle, which means having plus third form of the verb, where one action end immediately and second begins. At such point we are using such kind of sentences. one assignment regarding the same gerund and participle has been uploaded in the ERP. Please download that, solve questions and send me back by taking the pic. Thank you very much.